morning. Desktop audio is off. I have 2 audio input captures. That should be fine. They're both doing the same thing. The recording? I could certainly do that. Good morning to anyone who is there. I'm currently looking over at a very messy kitchen because I made my favorite dish of eggplant parmesan last night. Oh, I don't think I was really going anywhere with that. I just wanted to share because eggplant parmesan is delicious. But I probably could have cleaned the kitchen. Well, you ever have those mornings where you're just very slowly kind of waking up? I didn't wake up that long ago, so I guess it's not slowly. But I think that's been the hardest part of teaching yoga for me is adjusting my life to waking up earlier, and not only just waking up earlier, but actually being functional and engaging and on earlier. It's always funny to me that as an introvert, as someone that recharges by not being around people, I picked a profession where I'm literally in front of people talking and being on constantly. And I just find that an interesting thing. I never thought I wanted to be a teacher. There was never, people would always ask, what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? And the first thing I would say is that I don't want to be a teacher. And I think there was something in that, I guess. Sometimes the things that we're drawn to the most, we end up pushing away a little bit out of fear or uncertainty or whatever. I don't know. It just feels very interesting to me that for the majority of my life I told people I would never be a teacher, didn't want to be a teacher. And then we moved to Seattle and I started teaching in a wood shop. And then I started teaching yoga. And I quite enjoy being a teacher. So, I guess what I'm saying at the end of the day is to take some time to explore those things that you say you don't like. You may find out that you're saying that for reasons other than how you actually feel about the thing. I couldn't even begin to contemplate what mine were. But I spent a lot of time thinking about it. So we've got just another minute here before we'll get started. I'm going to try and keep us on time today because I actually have my therapist appointment immediately after this, which I think is a great thing. One of the things that I think a lot of us probably need right now is to continue going to those therapy appointments, even if they're on Zoom, which is an interesting way to have therapy. It's an interesting way to practice yoga. You don't necessarily have that one-on-one experience that you would in the beginning. So it's definitely interesting. So anyway, to jump right into kind of what I've been thinking about since yesterday, this is a little bit of a two-pronged thing that I've been thinking about. So I'll go a little bit quick, I guess, or I'll just skip one of the things. But I guess there was a point to me talking about eggplant parmesan. As I was making the eggplant parmesan last night, I actually had one of the most evocative memory experiences I've had in a long time when I took a bite of one of the fried eggplant. This was something that I used to eat back at the restaurant I worked at in Atlanta when I was younger, back at Stromboli's all the time. I would just take a piece of fried eggplant and eat it, and I loved it, and it was delicious and amazing. And when I did it last night, I was immediately transported back to that moment, and it was to one of those moments, to just standing in the hallway, having taken a piece of eggplant, munching on it. There's the noise in the restaurant outside. There's the pleasure and the experience of what I'm eating in that moment, and it was just so powerful, and it really brought me back to this sense of living in the present moment, and how a lot of people can misconstrue that sometimes to mean that we don't cherish these memories or experiences or things that have happened to us in the past. Sometimes living in the present moment can be construed as to forget all that never happened, to ignore it. But to me, that's not really what it means to live in the present moment. It means that when we have those experiences, when I had that experience last night, to really sit with it and to be with it while it lasts, and then maybe even to consider the feelings that it brings up afterward, and then to let it go, not to try to cling to it. That's what we're really doing when we try to exist in the present moment, is to eliminate this sense of clinging to things, of wanting to hold on to them for longer than they hang around. And it's in this sense of clinging where we start to create that tension, or we start to create that story of, oh, those were such better times, we all got to leave our houses. Or, oh, those were such better times, I was young and didn't have any responsibilities. Or, oh, those were such whatever. And it's in this story creation that we start to pull ourselves out of the present moment and put ourselves into a world that doesn't exist and can't exist unless you have an alternate universe traveling device like in Rick and Morty. Which, if you do, hit me up, because that'd be awesome. With all that being said, I'll stick to the one prong because we got to get moving. So let's take a moment here to settle in. Come to a seat that's comfortable for you. That can be kneeling or sitting cross-legged. We'll just be here for just a few moments, a few rounds of breath. And as you sit here, let the eyes start to soften or grow closed, or gaze down at the floor. Start to bring your awareness to the breath. Notice how it feels with each inhale. Take some time to notice where the breath stops. Does it stop in the throat? Does it stop in the chest? Does it go all the way down into the lungs and into the belly? And if it doesn't, see if you can gently start to deepen it with each inhale and with each exhale. To pull the breath a little bit deeper. And this is a practice, just like anything else is a practice in yoga. Learning how to deepen the breath actively and consciously is something that we all have to work on. Take 3 deep rounds of breath here together. And of course, on the exhale, do a lion's breath, or don't if you don't want to. Take 1 deep inhale through the nose. And exhale explosively through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And HA out the mouth. And inhale one more time through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. On your next inhale, let the eyes start to open and make your way up to your feet. We'll start standing today. I'd like to do a little bit of focus on all of the other senses except for sight. That, emotional journey of memory that I got to go on last night really reminded me that we spend so much time focusing on sight that a lot of times we can neglect everything else. So once you've come to stand, start to bring some awareness into the feet. Start to rock back and forth, and the feet can be together. This will make balancing a little bit more of a challenge, or they can be hip width apart. Just gently start to rock back and forth. It's early in the morning, so even our extremities are probably a little bit asleep. You might find that your balance is less than it normally is, and lean into that. Lean into the little wobbles and shakes. Notice how the toes and the heels feel. If the calves feel sore or particularly strong, maybe even come all the way up onto the tiptoes and lean forward like you're peering over a ledge. Continue to stay with the breath as you go through these little movements back and forth. Our legs and our feet are so underappreciated for everything that they do for us. And I've gotten to go on a lot of walks over the last couple of weeks, as I'm sure a lot of us have, to really tap into the mechanics of just walking again. So go ahead and come back to stillness. If your feet are apart, heel toe them together to touch. Bring the palms to face towards the front. And inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulders together, tilt the head back slightly. And exhale, round forward, peel the shoulders apart, pull the navel in towards the spine. Inhale to raise the heart, squeeze the shoulders down and back, lift the chest and chin. And exhale, round forward, peel the shoulders apart, pull the head down. Inhale up one more time, squeeze the shoulders in towards each other, lift through the heart. And exhale, round forward. Inhale to lift back up to standing. Reach the hands up, lift the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, bend over towards the right. Really lean through the left side. Inhale to lift the hands up. And exhale, bend over to the left. Really reach through the right arm, through the right fingers. Inhale to raise the hand. And exhale over to the right. Reach, reach, reach. Try to keep the hips level with each other so you don't end up cocking the left hip up high. Inhale, hands up. And exhale over to the left. Really reach through the fingers. Inhale, back up to standing. And as you exhale this time, swing your hands down and over towards the left. Twist open towards the left. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, slowly twist over towards the right. Open the arms like airplane wings, maybe even flutter them up and down. Inhale, twist towards the center, lift the hands up. And exhale, twist slow over towards the left. Inhale, lift the hands, lift the gaze. And exhale, twist over to the right, open up. Inhale, back to center, one more round on either side. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, up through center. And exhale, over to the right. Inhale, sweep the hands back through the middle, lift the gaze, raise the hand. And exhale, bring the arms out, bend forward at the waist, dive down towards the toes. Bend the knees quite a lot here as the hamstrings are probably pretty tight still. Inhale, lift halfway, keep the knees bent, bring the hands to the thighs or shins, and really play with pressing down through the heels to engage through the hamstrings and lift the hips up a little bit higher, but to keep that flat back, to keep from arching into the lower back. You can achieve that by continuing to bend the knees until you feel that straightness in the spine. Then start to sweep your hands back and forth. Keep that steadiness in the legs. Really press down through the heels. Notice how the weight shifts as you move your hands back and forth. Take one more round of breath here. And then come back to stillness. Bring the palms back to the front of the shins or the thighs. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders in towards each other. Lock the shoulders into their sockets. And exhale, plant the palms down in front of the feet. Step both feet back to a plank and stay here for 5 rounds of breath. Really press down through the palms. And take a moment here to let the eyes close. Start to feel into all of those other sensations. Feel into the fingers pressing down into the earth. Maybe even clawing at the ground or the mat a little bit to add a little bit more engagement. The sensation of the core pulling in tight, of the shoulders locked into their sockets. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. And inhale, lower down to the knees. And exhale, tuck the elbows in, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, untuck the toes, press the palms down, raise the chest for cobra. Exhale, roll the hips back low for child's pose. Bring the forehead and chest down to the mat. Reach the arms long in front. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Breathe deep into the belly. The knees can be together or the knees can be out wide. The wider you spread the knees, the more you'll sink down to the mat. You may feel a little bit of a stretch through the inner thighs. 1 more round of breath here. And inhale, lift the hips up over the knees. Bring the knees in if you widen them out far. Exhale, tuck the toes. And start to lift the knees and hips up. Keep the knees bent quite a lot. Keep the knees so that they're almost pressing into your lower abdomen. And from here, start to press through the arms to press the hips up and back. And then really engage through the thighs. Pull your femurs, your upper leg bones, into your hips. And start to press the heels down to lift the hips a little bit higher. I heard someone describe this as feeling like your butt cheeks are pulling apart. So if that resonates with you, Imagine that your butt cheeks are pulling apart as you push your hips up towards the sky. And this helps to keep you really engaged in this down dog. Take one round of breath here. And on your next inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of the mat, and exhale, walk or step forward between the hands. Inhale, heel-toe the feet together to touch, lift halfway, palms on thighs or shins, chest parallel with the floor. Exhale, plant the palms back down on the mat. Inhale, slight bend in the knees, sweep the arms out, lift the chest, reach the hands all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, shift the weight back into the heels, bend the knees, lower down into chair or fierce pose. Take a moment here to glance down at the toes and shift the weight back into the heels if you can't see them. Add that slight tuck to the tailbone. And with each inhale, lift the fingers a little bit higher. And with each exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the knees. Take 3 rounds of breath here. And again, let the eyes start to soften. See if you can move through this practice without really using the sense of sight. Use the sense of touch underneath your feet, through the shoulders, through the chest. Breathe deep into the belly. And notice if your eyes are closed, how this plays with balance. Take one more breath here. And inhale, still with the knees bent, reach the hands up a little bit higher. And exhale, fold forward at the waist, hands down, palms at the front of the feet. Inhale, lift halfway, palms to thighs or shins, chest parallel with the ground. Exhale, plant both hands down, step back with the left foot. Inhale, press back firmly through the ball of the left foot. Raise the chest, reach the hands up, lift the hands high, crescent lunge. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the right knee, lower down into it. Inhale, press back through the left foot, lift a little bit higher. And exhale to sink down and lower. Inhale to lift a little. And exhale down. Inhale, rise a little bit one more time. And exhale, lower down, hands down to frame the right foot in low lunge. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the arms up, crescent. And exhale, pivot the left heel down, bend into the right knee, and open your hips up to the side of the mat. Reach the hands to the front and back of the room for Warrior 2. Bring the gaze over the right fingers. And play with this warrior. One of the things I've been talking about in the last couple weeks is trying to find that center point for the warrior. Do not be too far over the front foot or too far back, but that place where it feels like the hips are stacked underneath the shoulders. Take one more round of breath here. And inhale, reach the right hand forward, flip your palm up, sweep it over and back, reverse warrior, left hand, left thigh, right arm high. And exhale, right elbow, right thigh, left arm up, side angle. Stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Your left hand can be reaching up overhead, it can be reaching straight up, or even down along the side for a little bit of a neck stretch. Try to be light in the right elbow, to engage through the left side of the torso, to pull the right hip out and up. Take one more breath here. And inhale, left hand back, right arm high. And exhale, windmill your hands towards the front. Oh, maybe fall over. Frame the right foot. And exhale, step the right foot back to meet the left. Inhale, shift forward, tuck the elbows in towards the ribs. Then exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet and the hands down, chest up for cobra. Exhale, push the hips back low for child's pose, or lift them up and back for down dog. Take 3 rounds of breath here. If you're in child's pose, start to make your way up to down dog. And from down dog, inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of the mat. And exhale, walk, step, or jump forward between your hands. Inhale, heel toe the feet together, halfway lift, palms on thighs or shins. Exhale, plant both palms back down. Inhale, slight bend in the knees, sweep the arms out, lift the chest, reach all the way high to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, weight back to the heels, bend into the knees, lower down into chair or fierce. Squeeze the thighs in towards each other. And if you'd like to have a little bit of something to focus on, you can always take a block or something similar and place it between the thighs and really squeeze in on it. This helps to trick the lower core into flickering on. And you can also feel that if you place your fingers on the front of your hips and then pretend like you're really holding your pee in. It's going to be one of those classes. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhale, keep the knees bent, reach the hands a little bit higher. Exhale, fold forward at the waist, palms down in front of the feet. Inhale, halfway lift, palms on thighs or shins. Squeeze the shoulders together to open the collarbone. Exhale, plant both hands down. Step the right foot back this time. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the hands up high, crescent lunge. And exhale, lower down into the left knee a little bit more. Inhale to lift a little, press through the right toes. And exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. And exhale down. And inhale up one more time. And exhale, hands down, frame the left foot, palms on either side. Inhale, press back into the right toes, raise the chest, lift the arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale, pivot the right foot down, bend into the left knee, open the hips up to the side of the mat, and hands to the front and back of the room. Bring the gaze over the left fingers, and take some time here to play with this warrior two. You can make it as deep of a warrior as you want by really extending the right leg out back, and then bending into the left knee. But still try to find that balance point in the center. And you'll notice the wider you make your stance, the more you may feel it through the inner thigh. And continue to really press back into the knife edge of the right foot. That helps to keep the weight evenly distributed. Take 1 more round of breath here. Inhale, reach the left hand forward, flip your palm up, sweep it over and back, right hand, right thigh, left arm high. Exhale, left elbow, left thigh, right arm up. Stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Play with the placement of your right hand and right arm. Continue to be light through the left elbow, or you can press down firmly through the left elbow and really engage up through the shoulder. We just don't want to drop down into the shoulder and kind of grind bone on bone. We want to stay active through it. Take 1 more round of breath here. And inhale, right hand back, left hand up, dancing warrior sometimes. Exhale, windmill both hands forward to frame the left foot. Inhale, left foot back to meet the right. And exhale, shift forward, tuck the elbows in, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, untuck the toes, press down with the tops of the feet and palms, lift the chest, cobra, or up dog if you press down with the tops of the feet and raise the thighs. Then exhale, roll the hips back low for child's pose, or up and back to down dog. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Because I always try to really butt up against my time limit that I've given myself, we're going to go through one more of those movements on both sides. And we're going to do it one breath to one movement, a very vinyasa style. And we're going to see if we can make it. I think we'll make it. If you're in child's pose, make your way up to down dog. And from down dog, inhale, raise the right leg up. And exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. And exhale, pivot the left heel down, bend into the right, open the arms to the front and back, warrior 2. Inhale, right hand forward, flip the palm up, sweep it over and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, right elbow, right thigh, left arm high, side angle. Inhale, sweep the left hand back, right arm up. And exhale, windmill both hands forward to frame the right foot. Inhale, step the right foot back to meet the left. And exhale, shift forward, tuck the elbows in, lower halfway for chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale, untuck the toes, raise the chest, cobra or up dog. Exhale, roll back over, lower the hips to child's pose or down dog. Take 3 rounds of breath. If you're in child's pose, make your way up to down dog. From down dog, inhale, raise the left leg. And exhale, step the left foot forward between your hands. Inhale, press back with the right toes, raise the chest, lift the arms up, crescent lunge. And exhale, pivot the right heel down, open the hips to the right side of the mat. Bend into the left knee. Open the arms to the front and back of the room. Inhale, left hand forward. Reach the palm up. Sweep it overhead and back. Reverse warrior. And exhale, left elbow, left thigh, right arm high. Side angle. Inhale, right arm back, left arm up. And exhale, windmill both hands forward to frame the left foot. Inhale, left foot back to meet the right. And exhale, shift forward, tuck the elbows in, lower halfway for chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale, untuck the toes, press palms and feet down, raise the chest for cobra or up dog. And exhale, roll the hips back low, child's pose or up and back to down dog. Take 3 rounds of breath here. We did it. We made it within the time. Take 1 more round of breath here. And if you're in child's pose, lift the hips up. And from down dog, lower the down to the knees. We'll all meet in the tabletop. From tabletop, walk your hands back towards your hips. And then swing your legs around and towards the front. I always like to try to include a little bit of core before we go. So before lowering down to your back, inhale to bring your arms up along your sides and lift your feet up so your legs are parallel with the floor. You can stay like this and start to lower the chest down, or straighten the legs out into a full boat and squeeze the stomach in tight. I'm full of chicken or eggplant parmesan, so this might be hard. And then slowly start to lower down. Come down into low boat. And then let the legs slowly come down. And the shoulders and the head. Lay all the way down onto the ground. And if you'd like, before coming into Shavasana, bring the knees up over the hips and hug the knees in towards the chest. Then take any final poses or preparations before Shavasana. Your feet can be down and long, pointing towards the bottom of the mat, or with the knees knocked together and the feet mat width apart. Before releasing into Shavasana, take a moment to squeeze everything. Clench your fingers, squeeze your hands into fists, tighten your shoulders, clench your jaw, press your tongue against the roof of your mouth, and then release everything. Let go of your awareness on the breath. Let your arms and legs start to sink down into the earth. Slowly start to bring yourself back to your body, beginning with the breath. Add some movement into your fingers and toes and arms and legs. Take your time to gently rock over onto whichever side is your favorite and push your way up into a seat. the eyes are closed, let them stay closed or downcast for another moment or two. And if it feels right for you, bring your hands together, palms touching at heart center, and bow your head to seal our practice. Thank you all very much for showing up this morning. May we all go through the rest of the week and the next couple weeks by taking some time to appreciate all of our senses, to feel the ground or the apartment floor underneath our feet, to taste all of the food that we eat, to smell our significant others who smell nice normally, or don't smell nice. I didn't shower for a couple days and I kind of like my own smell. So anyway, namaste. Before that gets a little long in the tooth. I've had a request to make these classes hour-long classes. If that's something that interests you, it would probably mean pushing the class back to starting at 7 so that we can be finished before Sarah ends up on conference calls or various other things. If that's something that interests you, let me know. I'm certainly not doing anything, and it would be nice, I think, to teach hour-long classes. We'd certainly get to cover a lot more, and it'd be more my style. The 30-minute classes are a little hectic, I feel. Anyway, everyone have a great rest of your day, and enjoy. If it's sunny or rainy or cloudy, I don't know what Seattle's going to do yet. It was supposed to be sunny, but now it's kind of cloudy.